Welcome to the City of Milpitas Planning Commission meeting. Today is October 25th, 7 o'clock. Public comment instructions. Oral public comments are live during the meeting, so there are some comment cards in the back. If there's any public comments, please present those to Ms. Medina. Calling meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance, Vice Chair.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you. Next item, roll call, Ms. Medina.
Thank you, Chair. I will begin taking attendance, starting with Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Present.
Commissioner Wasti.
Present.
Commissioner Galong.
Present.
Commissioner Albana.
Present.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
Present.
And Chair Chuan.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. Next item, conflict of interest declaration, City Attorney.
Thank you, Chair. I ask the Chair and every other member of the Commission whether he or she has any financial or personal conflict of interest related to any of the items on tonight's agenda.
Ms. Medina, would you go down the roll, please?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
None.
Commissioner Wasti.
None.
Commissioner Galong.
None.
Commissioner Albana.
None.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
None.
Chair Chuan.
None.
Thank you.
Let the record reflect no reported financial or personal conflicts. I further ask the Chair and every other member of the Commission to please disclose any campaign contributions of $100 or more received within the last 12 months from any of the parties entering into contracts with the City on tonight's agenda, or contributions received from any department project applicant for development projects on tonight's agenda.
Ms. Medina, would you go down the roll, please?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
None.
Commissioner Wasti.
None.
Commissioner Galong.
None.
Commissioner Albana.
None.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
None.
Chair Chuan.
None.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, approval agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting agenda for October 25th, 2023? Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Oh, it was on. I make a motion to approve the agenda for October 25th, 2023.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Medina Ashby. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Albana makes a second. Ms. Medina, would you take the roll call vote?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Aye.
Commissioner Wasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galong.
Aye.
Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
Aye.
Chair Chuan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda is approved. Next item, approval of the meeting minutes for October 11th. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes for October 11th, please?
Chair, I move for the approval of the minutes of the meeting.
All right. Commissioner Albana makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, a second from Vice Chair Ciardella. Ms. Medina, would you go down the roll, please?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Aye.
Commissioner Wasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galong.
Aye.
Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
Aye.
Chair Chuan.
Aye. Thank you. Meeting minutes are approved. Thank you. Announcements. Do any of the planning commissioners have any announcements? Vice Chair Ciardella.
Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that Pumpkins in the Park is going to happen Saturday between 10 and 2 at Cardozo Park. And I thought that's always a fun event for both children and adults. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Ciardella. Okay. Planning Director,
There are no announcements this evening from the planning department. With the exception of a new planning commissioner that will be joining us starting in November, Planning Commissioner Pravel Kumar Gupta will be joining us starting in November.
All right. Thank you, Planning Director. Next item, public forum. Those interested are invited to address Planning Commission on any subject not on tonight's agenda orally or via Zoom webinar. Instructions are in the notice or in the agenda. Actually, need to make a correction to that. So they may not be made on Zoom. They need to be here. So if there's any speakers may provide their name and city of residence for the recording secretary's record, and comments may be limited to 3 minutes or less. As an item not listed on the agenda, no response is required from city staff or the Planning Commission, and no action can be taken. Planning Commission may instruct the staff to place the item on a future meeting agenda. Ms. Menita, did you receive any speaker cards?
Chair, there are no speaker cards.
Okay.
For public forum. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next item, public hearing, item 9-1. Planning Director.
Thank you, Chair. This evening we have Associate Planner Randy Baez to present to the Planning Commission a request for amendment to development standards and a site development permit for a new home on 1321 Terra Vista Court. Please take it away, Randy. Thank you.
Thank you, Acting Director Fasadi, and good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, Commissioners, and members of the public. My name is Randy Baez, Associate Planner with the City of Milpitas. The item before you is a request for a site development permit and planned unit development permit, or PUD, amendment to construct a new single-family residence located in the Hillside Combining District at 1321 Terra Vista Court. Next, please. The applicant is requesting a site development permit and a PUD amendment to construct a 4,929 square foot, 1.5 story single family residence on a 1.1 acre vacant lot, and an amendment to PUD number 68 for this lot to include changes to exterior finishes and design from what was previously approved. The project site is located in the single-family Hillside zoning district. As a result, this application will require recommendation from the Planning Commission and approval from City Council. Next slide, please. This is the zoning map of the property. The project site and neighboring properties are zoned R1H, or single-family residential Hillside. The general plan land use designation for the project site and surrounding properties is Hillside Low Density. The home is located east of the crest line, where 2-story homes are permitted up to a maximum height of 27 feet. Next slide. This is an aerial image of the project site and is located in the northeastern portion of the city, just to the west of the Bayview Golf Club. The property is part of PUD 68, also known as the Countryside Estates Subdivision. This is a community with a homeowners association, and this is an exhibit showing the 4 lots all along Terra Vista Court. Terra Vista Court has a moderate incline with lot 4 near the bottom and rising up to lot 1 at the end. There's also an open space parcel located immediately west of the project site and with no future development. Next slide. Planning staff has also created this exhibit to provide context for development of the area. Other projects along Terra Vista Court range from 5,000 to 6,000 square feet in size and with similar building heights. Lot 1 was recently denied by City Council. Lot 2 has been approved and the construction drawings are currently under review. Lot 3's application is currently under review, and this project is Lot 4. And here we see a site plan of the proposed project. The home faces east towards Terra Vista Court, which you can see here to the right. The lot adjacent to the left is a large preserved hillside open space lot that will not be developed. The project is approximately 1.1 acres, which allows for a maximum of 8,000 square feet of impervious surface coverage, and approximately 7,300 square feet is proposed. The building layout is shown here in red. The outdoor patio is shown in blue, And there's a section of landscaped open space shown in green here. Next slide, please. This is a floor plan of the proposed first floor. This will include the attached 3-car garage leading to the mudroom and laundry room. And this floor will also include an office, a bedroom, and a recreation/gym room. The front entrance will be in the middle of the residence and will open up into a living room area on the second floor. And the required parking for the proposed residence is 5 spaces, and the proposed project includes 3 enclosed parking spaces and 3 parking spaces outdoors. This upper half floor plan features a family and living room, a dining room and a kitchen, a pantry, 2 bedrooms, and a master bedroom, along with 3.5 bathrooms. And there's also an attached accessory dwelling unit, or ADU, that will be proposed on this floor, accessed from the first floor through a separate application. And to the rear of this floor is a patio with a sunken fire pit. Thank you. Next slide. These images show the front and rear elevations and height at different angles. The next slide will include a front elevation rendering with color and materials. The proposed residence will be at a maximum height to the top of the roof as measured from lowest finished grade at 26 feet and 10.5 inches. 2 chimneys are located slightly above the height, but are exempted from the height requirements per Municipal Code Section 11-10-55.02. And here's a proposed conceptual rendering with colors and materials of the proposed new residence as seen from the front facade. The project is designed in a contemporary chateau style. The home incorporates strong lines and a mixture of high quality and earth tone color and materials. The overall color scheme of the residence will have light taupe, soft white accents, and brown window trim. The exterior materials include a painted stucco, stone veneer, and a standing seam metal roof with metal and stained grade wood accents. The balcony will also have dark colored wrought iron trailing around the house, and the colors and materials proposed are complementary to the character of the rural neighboring residences, but will also add to the diversity of the neighborhood. Here are some of the proposed landscape plans. A site visit was conducted and confirmed the site is a vacant dirt lot. There are no trees or shrubs where the proposed new residence will be located, and therefore no trees will be removed from the site. The proposed landscaping in relation to the size of the lot is minimal and includes several trees and various shrubs and perennials. All proposed landscaping materials are low to moderate water use, and the proposed species are specified in the landscape plan of the project plans. In addition, the city's fire prevention staff will be taking a closer look at the proposed species and spacing of the landscaping in closer detail during the building permit review phase for fire safety. Overall, the proposed landscaping meets the intent of the Hillside Ordinance. And here's a copy of the civil plans along with a, due to the sloped lot and vehicular access requirements, the applicant has requested that the site be graded in order to make the site feasible for residential development. In order to do this, the applicant has located the home on the flattest portion of the site while still meeting the setback requirements. In addition, the rear yard entry is located on the second floor. Due to the proximity of the crest line, the project will result in 3,005 cubic yards of cut and 435 cubic yards of fill. It is important to note that no grading is proposed in the crest line zone of protection. Per the municipal code, the development plan with grading in excess of 1,500 cubic yards requires Planning Commission review and recommend approval or denial to the City Council. If approval is recommended, such conditions as are reasonably necessary may be included. On this slide, I wanted to summarize the main hillside development standards the proposal needs to meet. This is also in Table 3 of the attached staff report. The proposed residence will be 1.5 stories tall with a max height of 26 feet and 10.5 inches, and will be 4,929 square feet, which is compliant with the hillside's development standard of a 6,000 square foot minimum and 27-foot height limit. The proposed total impervious surface will be 7,339 square feet, which will be compliant with the hillside's maximum of 8,000 square feet. In summation, the proposal is consistent with all development standards for the hillside zoning ordinance. As part of the requirements of the hillside zoning ordinance, the applicant must also demonstrate compliance with this section to preserve the natural quality of the crestline and the slopes as viewed from the valley floor. This applicant has demonstrated compliance by providing 3 diagrams in the project plans, and the next slide will include a sectional view to demonstrate the house will not be visible from the valley floor. The nearest points for this residence are viewpoints 2, 3, and 4, as specified in the municipal code. And this graphic is highlighting that the proposed house will be on the other side of these hills. The applicant installed story poles along the setback perimeter and took pictures from these areas to demonstrate the project will not be visible from the valley floor, and therefore it is compliant with the crestline zone of protection provision. And this image demonstrates in a sectional view that the proposed house will not be visible from the valley floor. If you were to stand from these viewpoints looking up towards the hillside, an existing hill will block views of the proposed house from the valley floor. This was confirmed by the story pole test. And although the top rung of the story poles was visible from viewpoint 4, this only represents the setback line. The house itself would not be visible from the valley floor. The applicant's follow-up presentation will describe this in a bit more detail. Staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with a site development permit as set out in the Milpitas Municipal Code. Those findings have been discussed in the staff report and are addressed in the resolution. As previously stated, the project also includes an amendment to PUD number 68 for this lot to allow for changes to exterior finishes and design from what was previously approved in 1992. Here are conceptual elevations for the original project on this lot, which included concrete tile roofs, brick, textured concrete, and accented stucco. The image above is the front elevation, and the image below is the newly proposed front elevation. The original PUD had approved single-family homes ranging from 4,000 to 5,000 square feet in size. As this project is still within that range, no further PUD amendments are requested. And staff has confirmed that the project meets the findings associated with the planned unit development as set out in the municipal code. Those findings have been discussed in the staff report and are addressed in the resolution. Next. The proposed project is categorically exempt from environmental review under the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, in conformance with CEQA guidelines section 15303, subsection A, for new construction or conversion of small structures, and section 15183 for projects consistent with the community plan, general plan, or zoning. Next. A notice was published in the Milpitas Post and at City Hall, as well as the city's website and online public forum, 18 postcards were sent to property owners within 300 feet of the project site. A sign was also posted at the project site, and no comments have been received to date. Therefore, staff recommends that the Planning Commission open and close the public hearing and adopt Resolution 23-015, recommending that the City Council approve the site development permit number SD 22-0013 and Planned Unit Development Amendment PA 23-0001 to allow the construction of a single-family residence in the Hillside District, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval. This concludes staff's presentation. Myself and the applicant are available for any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baez. So you mentioned that the applicant does have a presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Hello, my name is Isabel Guglielmo, and I'm going to be giving the presentation for the property. But before I do, property owner is here and would like to say a few words.
My name is Vu Nguyen. I'm a resident of the Bay Area for over 40 years. I graduated from Cal. I'm an engineer at heart. I've been working in the high-tech industry for a long, long time. I bought my very first home in the Willow Ranch Chappelle home by Scott Creek, but did move away to Fremont and Santa Clara. But I'm back in Milpitas since 2015 and still live in Milpitas today. I'm married. I have 3 daughters. 2 are grown up. They don't live with me anymore, but I have a younger one that's still at home. And love to build the dream home where the location is being proposed. I hope I get the approval from the commission. Thank you.
Thank you.
So as you can see here, we've highlighted where the site is, lot number 4. Next slide, please. So as you can see, we are proposing a first floor of 1,383 square feet, a second floor of 3,544 square feet, with an 804 square foot garage and an attached 796 square foot ADU on the second floor. As you can see by the setbacks, we are proposing greater than the minimum required on all sides, and in some cases, much more than the minimum required. As of note, you can see that the rear setback is 127 feet, 7.5 inches. And this is due in part to the crestline zone of protection, but we also set the house back even further from this in order to make sure that there was no visibility from the valley floor. Next slide, please. So here you can see the second floor, and I call it the second floor because as seen from the street, it does appear to be the second floor, but because of the steeply sloping nature of the site, it actually exits at grade at the rear and becomes a single story at the rear. So we've nestled it into the hillside in order to minimize the grading as much as possible. Next slide, please. So we are proposing 9-foot plate heights throughout, stepping up to 12 feet at the great room volume at the back. The proposed building height is 26 feet, 10.5 inches. Next slide, please. We are proposing high quality and durable materials to go with the modern French chateau style. So as you can see, we are proposing natural stone facade, as well as standing seam metal roofing, high quality windows and doors, and stucco on the siding. We are also proposing a number of stained grade wood elements, including the entry door and the garage door, to bring that warmth into the design. Next slide, please. So here's the first floor plan. You can see highlighted in blue, those are the stairs to the ADU on the second floor. And you can see the rest of the first floor, which Randy kind of walked you through, highlighted in orange. Next slide, please. So you can see again, highlighted in blue, the ADU, as well as the rest of the floor with the great room area at the rear highlighted in orange. And the great room area does open up out onto the patio at the back. Next slide, please. So before we started design, we really wanted to study the visibility of this site from the different viewpoints. So what we did is we took a look at Google Earth And based on some assumptions, based on the viewpoints, we created a plane of what we thought would be the max buildable area without being visible from any of the viewpoints. And that plane was represented by the middle line of flag roping as shown in that image there. Because we weren't sure what the margin of error was with Google Earth, we created 2 rows above and 2 rows below at 3-foot intervals to study what the actual visibility would be. And these story poles were placed at the setback lines, knowing that we would set the house back even further from these to ensure that it wouldn't be visible. Next slide, please. So here you can see represented by the red dashed line, the story pole plan that we did on the right. And you can see that it extends in the crestline zone of protection because we did keep it at the setback lines. But you can see the height of the story poles does get lower based on our assumption of what would be visible from the different viewpoints. After doing this, it created a max envelope that we could build within, which you can see on the left-hand side. And that is represented by the red dashed rectangle as well and the yellow plane. And then we made sure to build the house within this so that it wouldn't be visible. Next slide, please. So here you can see the proposed location of the site, and then the nearest 3 viewpoints are viewpoint 2, viewpoint 3, and viewpoint 4. Next slide. So this is a site section from viewpoint 2 to the subject property. And as you can see that there's no visibility, we couldn't see any of the story poles that we had erected. Next slide, please. And here you can see from viewpoint 3, as you can see, the top corner of the story pole was visible, and that was highlighted. It's the top corner in the crestline zone of protection. So the only portion of the flag rope that was actually visible is that within the zone of protection, and it was only the top row. It wasn't any of the other rows. Next slide, please. So here you can see a more zoomed in image so you can get a sense for what was visible. And then highlighted with the red dashed line, you can see the portion that was actually visible. So you can see it goes along the rear property line, but again, within the crestline zone of protection. And then it continues back along the side property line for a little bit until it hits the crestline zone of protection. But as you can see, not only did we set the building back to not be within the crestline zone of protection, but we set it back even further from this to ensure that there would be no visibility. Next slide, please. So here you can see represented in 3D, that top plane, that top line of flag ropes is represented by the yellow plane. And we've highlighted in red that corner that was visible. And as you can see, the house is set back much further from that. And in the bottom left image, you can also see how the height is set lower than that. And we weren't trying to push the limit on that. Next slide, please. So we do have a video here. If you could open that up. Thank you. We created a video just to show this in 3D so you could really get a feel for the story poles and why we think it would not be visible from any of the viewpoints. The other video, sorry. No, it's not this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so you can see the orange plane that we have there represents the top row of the flag rope, since that was mostly not visible from the different viewpoints. That red portion in the lower left-hand corner that you can see, that represents what was visible. And as you can see, that is all within the crestline zone of protection area, and the house is set back even further. The vertical lines that you can see, those represent the elevations of the different story poles terminating at the top row of flag rope. And you can see how the house not only is set back from the setbacks inwards, but also the height limit is set back much lower from the proposed story poles. Thank you. And then this is viewpoint number 4, and the property was also not visible from this viewpoint. Next slide, please. This is the proposed landscaping plan. As you can see, we're proposing some landscaping screening along Country Club Drive, as well as some planting along Terra Vista Court, as well as the side property line, but we've kept it more natural within the crestline zone of protection. Next slide, please. Here are some exterior elevations. This is showing how you can see how it's a 2-story portion at the front, but because of the severely sloping nature of the lot, it actually terminates at grade at the rear. And we picked that finished floor for the second floor in order to minimize the grading. So it could still terminate at grade at the rear, but we could keep the slope of the lot towards the left-hand portion more natural. Next slide, please. We are proposing an iron fence along the front property line to go with the modern French chateau style. Next. And a wood fence along the side and rear property lines to maintain that hillside feel. Next. And then this is the other video that you pulled up. So this is a 3D walkthrough to show this design of the home. As you can see, it's the modern French chateau style. You can see the stone and stucco on the facade, as well as how it appears to be 2-story at the front. But because of the severely sloping nature of the site, we've nestled it into the site so that it does exit at grade at the rear. So you can see the rear patio, as well as the little courtyard that is accessible off of the residence as well, that separates the ADU from the main residence. And that is it for our presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any questions from any of the, thank you for the presentation. Any questions for staff or the applicant from any of the commissioners? Vice Chair.
Yeah, I've got a question for staff. And in that outside that landscaped area, is it going to be natural gas, grass? And is the fire department aware of it and they're okay with it?
Thank you, Commissioner. Are you referring to the section of landscaping near the rear patio?
Yes, that whole area there.
But not the area located within the crestline zone of protection?
No.
Okay. 1 second while I pull up the landscape plans.
By the way, I do note that the Chief Belton is on too, so if we need to bring him on.
Okay. And we can ask him.
So it looks like that will actually be synthetic turf. And as stated in my presentation, it is subject to approval from the fire department, but that'll be reviewed during the building permit phase.
Okay, so the fire department's okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions from any of the commissioners? If there's no questions, I do want to note that Deputy Fire Chief Arthur Belton is on. If there's any questions for him. Chief Belton, are you there? Okay. Now you're.
Sorry, I was waiting for Liz to unmute me, so or allow me to speak.
All right. Any questions for Chief Belton? If not, Chief, do you have any, maybe just a question from Vice Chair? Just wanted to maybe hear any comments based upon Vice Chair's questions.
No, as was mentioned by Randy during his presentation, we would look at, as part of our review and purview of the building and structure and surrounding areas, we would be reviewing as well the foliage and the plant usage around the building.
Thank you. Through the chair here.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from any of the commissioners? Commissioner Galan.
Chair, yeah. Mr. Vice, you mentioned about there are 3 viewpoints on the crest line. There's a viewpoint 1. Where you're standing, is it coming from what? How's the distance? The difference from the distance from the view 1, view 2, and view 3 viewpoints?
Yes, thank you, Commissioner. So the municipal code states there are, I believe, 9 different viewpoints throughout the city. And for any hillside developments, we would look at the 3 closest viewpoints to the project. So in this case, viewpoints 2, 3, and 4 are the closest to the project.
So where you're standing, where is it standing in Landes or the view?
Oh, you're asking specifically like where the viewpoint is? Sure, let me pull that up. And we actually have this in our GIS system, which you can find online. 1 second. Yeah, so viewpoint 2 is located by Joseph Weller Elementary School, and that's on Dixon Road. Viewpoint 3 is by Milpitas High, that would be the closest landmark. And viewpoint 4 is closest to Jacqueline Road by Jones Memorial Park.
I think that's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions? If there's no other questions, I'm going to open up the public forum. Ms. Medina, did you receive any cards or for the?
Chair, we have not received any speaker cards.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to close the public forum? Commissioner Glong, did you want to make a motion?
Sorry.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close the public?
Motion to close the public.
Okay, got a motion from Commissioner Owasti, and do I have a second?
Second.
And got a second from Commissioner Medina Ashby. Ms. Medina, can you make a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Aye.
Commissioner Owasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Glong.
Aye.
Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Commissioner, I'm sorry, Vice Chair Ciardella.
Aye.
Chair Chuan.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Medina. Public forum is closed for this item here. Any final comments or questions from the Planning Commission? Vice Chair, did you have something you want, comments you want to make or?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Any deliberations, motions? Commissioner Glong?
No, I'm not making a motion. I just want to thank you for the honor. Your home is looks fabulous. That's my dream homes. I wish I could won the lotto this Saturday and I will build the same homes like yours.
Right, thank you. Just my comment is I appreciate all the, showing all the different viewpoints, especially all the close ones, and just making sure that it meets the hillside ordinance. I really appreciate that. So just want to make that comment there. Okay, any other comments? If no comments, do I have any motions?
I can make a motion.
Okay. Okay, Commissioner Wasti.
Adopt resolution 23-015, recommending the City Council approve the site development permit number SD 22-0013 and plan unit development amendment P-PA 23-0001 to allow the construction of a single family residence in the Hillside District, subject to the findings and attached conditions of approval.
Got a motion from Commissioner Wasi. Do you have a second?
Second.
And got a second from Commissioner Galong. Ms. Medina, can you take the roll call vote?
Yes. Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Aye.
Commissioner Owasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galong.
Aye.
Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
Aye.
And Chair Chuan.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish you the best there.
Congratulations.
So just a comment, this is a recommendation from the Planning Commission to the City Council. So the final approval will be by the City Council. Okay, next item is new business. Planning Commission fiscal year 2023 work plan. The City Council reviews and approves an annual work plan for each City Commission. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission receive the Planning Commission work plan for fiscal year 2023 to 2024. Acting Planning Director.
Thank you, Chair Chuan. Thank you, Planning Commissioners. I'd first like to start off for the Planning Department, I'd like to thank you for your willingness to volunteer your time to help guide the physical development of the City of Milpitas. We appreciate your guidance and attention to detail regarding our reports, our presentations. The Planning Department, along with fellow city departments, will be presenting the City Council with our work plan in fiscal year 23-24. This list in front of you this evening presents the major projects that will be reviewed by you as your commissioners. Think of it as the duties that we will require from the Planning Commission. One of the first projects, you typically review, just like this one right here, was development. We'll be asking you to review development review, which represents the current planning projects that are within the city. Associate Planner Abaya's project at 1321 Terra Vista Court is a perfect example of what we mean by a current planning project. We continue to have a healthy stream of development project proposals, either within our metro area, our Gateway Midtown area, and many commercial areas for the Planning Commission to review. We also have the housing opportunity districts. We'll need you to participate in those meetings. They're also known as the HODs. Some of our key points are that we'll be doing a zone change to implement the town center and the NCMU land use designations. We'll be taking those general plan designations and implementing in the zoning code. Both those two zoning designations will be incentivizing market rate and affordable housing. The Planning Commission will have two bites at the apples, like I like to say. We will bring the draft documents back to the Planning Commission in early 2024 with the hope to have the council adopt the zoning, the HODs in early 2024. I believe there's been a discussion on it one time, and we will have one more, we will bring it back one more time. We are also in the process of updating the Transit Area Development Impact Fee. That's also known as the TADF. So that update is currently being reviewed, and we may, if Planning Commission requests, have a study session to receive a recommendation from the Planning Commission. We'll also be presenting the public draft of the Gateway Main Street Specific Plan, known as you know now, it's the Midtown Specific Plan. We're expecting that public draft to be in early 2024 and with the PC recommendation in mid 2024. We also have some projects that are partially funded by state and regional grants. We'll be reviewing the Main Street Sense of Place plan and impact fee study. The city received a $600,000 grant from Metropolitan Transportation Commission through the PDA program to complete a streetscape plan for Main Street. And that will include an impact study, fee study to fund improvements required to make Main Street a sense of place. We're in the process of creating an RFP to find consultants to complete that study, and the PC Planning Commission will receive progress reports, and study session will occur in 2024. We also received an additional $200,000 again by MTC through the PDA program to complete the conceptual design for parcels identified as open and park space in the Metro Plan, which the Innovation District is located in. The city can use the designs for future park construction, which will go to our capital projects team. And an RFP is also being completed soon to find a consultant to create those initiatives, and the Planning Commission will receive progress reports and we'll have a study session in 2024. We're also looking for one of our largest projects is the current zoning ordinance amendment. As you well know, with your leadership, we were able to approve the general plan, which created some new general plan designations. We're also looking at doing a full revamp of our current zoning ordinance to deal with modern times and increasing the uses and the development potential for properties via this CZO update. You will receive presentations and we will ask for feedback and for a recommendation to City Council. Lastly, the cities and all cities in the state of California deal with state legislation implementation. There's a round of Senate bills and Assembly bills that the states place on cities to either spur development or to make some type of change that's inconsistent with our zoning code. So we will, from time to time, have miscellaneous development policies in order to align our laws with state legislation. Again, we will request that the Planning Commission receive the presentation, provide feedback, and make recommendations to the council. And lastly, we'll be expecting the Planning Commission to review the annual CIP conformance with the general plan. Our engineering partners will present to the Planning Commission how projects are moving, how our capital projects are moving through the city, and be requesting some feedback and comments. That's pretty much it for the work plan fiscal year 23-24. We plan on keeping you busy and we really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Acting Planning Director. Does anyone have any questions for Acting Planning Director? Okay, if not, then consider it that the Planning Commission received the work plan. Thank you very much. Next item, legalese. Any person aggrieved by any final decision of any board, commission, or department head to the city of Milpitas may appeal the decision to the city council by filing written notice of the appeal with the city clerk within 12 calendar days of the date of said decision and paying the required fee. This time limit shall be strictly enforced. Next item, adjournment. Ms. Medina, would you go down the roll to take the roll call vote for adjournment?
Commissioner Medina Ashby.
Aye.
Commissioner Wasti.
Aye.
Commissioner Galal.
Aye.
Commissioner Albana.
Aye.
Vice Chair Ciardella.
Aye.
Chair Chuan.
Aye, meeting adjourned.